are going to talk about something not a lot of people know about me. April 5th, 1989.
Is that yummy?
No, chicken.
Look at, ooh, is this a French fry? Really cute. In this outfit, we're gonna preserve the outfit. Gemma, look at wingers, chicken fingers from Wingers.
Maybe it's
looking at Maya
I
now?
think it's I was a island.
Yummy.
He's
Big
recording right now.
bugs.
Can you make her a bottle?
Play. Gaga.
What is it, can I have a bite? Ooh, you can dip it in ranch for me. What's up?
My grandma's getting
Hey,
More.
hey.
chicken.
I stole it from you.
Yummy, eat it. Yummy. I did this.
Oh, we didn't say a prayer. All right. Okay, go ahead, Gemma. Thank you, Heavenly Father.
I take that one.
Thanks for the food.
Almond. Yay!
Wow, girlfriend, you were thirsty.
Thanks for reminding us to say the prayer. You're such a good girl.
Cuckoo.
We forgot, huh?
I can go, Tata. I did this almond.
Yeah, amen, huh? Oh, Gemma! Is that fry water?
Okay.
She drank about this much.
No way.
Oh, close.
Oh, I know.
Wash your hands.
These are literally called sticky fingers. That's what they call them. Because look at your hand. It's sticky, huh? That's the last thing that Gemma wants is... You don't like it?
Messy.
She does?
Because every time we get wind,
I get a rabbit.
How's that floating potato? Girl.
oh, here's another dressing underneath.
I guess just.
Cara, she doesn't.
Make that noise.
Okay. Do you want that?
I did. I got this. I got
Yeah,
this.
you can dip the fry in ranch. Not your finger. Fry.
Did I?
Oh no.
About
Here.
the
Yeah, you can wash it off. You can wipe it off. Here.
Wow, no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Horrible.
Oh no. One. Oh no. But I don't want to off.
Okay.
I want to off.
Do you want to wash your face off too?
Want to take off?
Oh.
Cookies.
What are you doing?
Cookies.
No body. You look like a baby.
Gemma, we accept this rose.
I think I should give Gracie some medicine.
Oh no. That's an almond.
Oh, done. She's painting. Okay, here.
A bit.
No, you don't paint. We go wash. Stop painting. Gemma, that's not time to paint. Come on. Gemma, did you get a treat?
Mommy, take it.
You're cute. I love you. Do a spin. Do your favorite dance. Do the Peter Pipa dance. Yeah, do the Peter Pipa, this. You are so funny. Run away. Gemma, what do you got? You got a balloon? Does Pia want it? Pia's the balloon. What'd you get at Target?
Diapers for Gemma and the babies, and I got them a bigger size this time.
The babies got bigger size?
Yeah,
No, they graduated to 2.
number 2.
They're
And when
on
I was
number 2.
carrying the big things of diapers through Target, a girl's like, "Hey, you had triplets, huh?" How can you tell all these diapers?
Just oh no! Can you get your broom? Okay, good girl. Oh no! Turn it on. Oh wow! Good girl. Okay, turn it off. Yay! You are so smart. High five. A for effort. Squid. High five. Squid. High five. Squid. Gosh dang, you're beautiful. I love you. Mama needs you. Run, hurry, Mama needs you. It's really late, so this will be the first time that I actually record on silent piano. So it's digital. Hi, are you with your mama? 2 prettiest girls in this world. You know that? The 2 prettiest girls. Where are we going, babe? Do you get some food?
Yes.
right.
Gemma, you're getting dirt on your head.
Oh no, you're going the wrong way. Mama's over there.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's a rock.
Gemma, come and get me.
Go get Mama. Hurry.
Come and get me. Gemma,
Come on.
look.
Come on, Dad. Come on, we'll come with your dad. Let's run.
Woo! Hi, Gemma.
Oh no.
Hey,
Dad.
do not kick the bushes.
Gemma, come here. You don't step on bushes. Come on. It was windy, huh? We're going to Seven Brothers again to get some hamburgers because we were craving some burgers and that place is amazing. So Grandma Bonnie, bless her heart, it's the last day and she's watching the triplets for the last time.
Don't talk about it.
What a beautiful girl.
Win
Gemma.
500 tickets in the Connect 4 bonus round.
Did that scare you? Cara, do you feel lucky? Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, we are living lucky. We got triplets. The 4-leaf clover. Our kids are just a 4-leaf clover. They're just a pot of luck.
So cute.
Gemma.
Bye, Jemmers.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Hello, Chatfam.
Today we're going to talk about something not a lot of people know about me. April 5th, 1989. The day I was born, I was adopted. The best day of Bonnie's life.
Oh, sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I guess we'll start from the beginning. My mom knew my birth mom's family way back in the day. So tell how you knew them.
Okay, so I knew Cara's birth mom since she was about 12 years old. And her mother and I, so that would be Cara's biological grandma, are friends. And they lived in Minnesota. I used to live in Minnesota, moved to Oregon, married Chuck, and we got pregnant, tried to start a family, but I miscarried. And we waited a year to try to get pregnant again. Was unsuccessful at that. That was a really tough time. One night I had a really vivid dream, and I dreamt that Cara's birth mom was pregnant again, and it was a second baby. She already had one child. I had a dream that she was pregnant again, and I, in the dream, was crying and telling God, that's not fair. That baby needs to know that she's wanted and loved, that he or she has a purpose and is not a mistake, and that kind of thing. A couple days later, birth mom's mom called me, and we chatted a while, and I told her about the dream because it had still sticking with me. She said, well, God was really speaking to you because I called to tell you that my daughter is pregnant again. So I said, wow, okay, we'll pray. And congratulations. The pregnancy went along fine. 2 weeks before Cara was due, Chuck and I got a call from birth mom saying that she would like us to adopt her. That she had been counseled from many different sources that having a second baby would be very difficult. We agreed.
2 weeks before I was
2
due.
weeks before. We had some young women living with us at the time. They were good sports about the whole thing. They packed up, found a different place to live, moved out. People donated baby things, and we got ready for Cara's arrival in the world. So birth mom arrived on the train. Turns out I had a friend, a very good friend who was an attorney in Minnesota. She agreed to take birth mom's side and handle all the legal paperwork. And Chuck had a friend that was an attorney in Oregon and would represent our side for free. So it was just a great collaboration of a lot of people. Our attorney had discovered that we wanted an open adoption. I thought about flying to Minnesota and being there for the birth, but then Cara would have had to been in, by law, I think it was be in foster care for 30 days. Well, that wasn't a good situation. Oregon supported open adoption and was one of the few states at the time. So our attorney figured out birth mom would not be allowed to fly, but she could take the train, and he mapped out which states she could and could not go into labor on the train because of similar laws. Birth mom made it safely to Oregon.
On my due date.
She made it on the due date to Oregon. About 2 days later, we had ordered pizza for dinner. And promptly her water broke, and we went into the hospital, canceled the order, and darling daughter was born. We felt most comfortable with sharing a letter and pictures with you every year at your birthday. There was a lot of distance there, of course, Oregon to Minnesota. We said that when you were 18 and you could decide for yourself, then you could meet birth mom, unless we felt like it needed to happen sooner.
Yeah, I remember getting pictures and like little gifts and packages
Yeah,
for my
birth mom would
birthday
send,
each year.
Yep, and she was very good about including Stephen, who once Cara was born, she was 3 or 4 months old, then I got pregnant. And when Cara was 11 months old, Stephen was born. So, I lived in
Irish
my bathrobe. Lived in my bathrobe for the first year. We openly talked about adoption your whole life from before you could even understand it.
I've always just known I was adopted.
We were aware the difficulty on a child, losing that birth mom. You're in that person's womb and you're used to that smell, the feel, the voice, all of that. And there's just something there. So we knew that would have a profound effect. I thought that just by being open about it and talking about it over time, that would ease all the problems.
And it made me extra attached to this lady. I clung to you.
Yeah, I know now.
Physically and emotionally. Whenever she would try to leave me somewhere, I would just cry and cry and cry. And I wouldn't stay the night places. And we were talking to a counselor or something one time, and they said it's because of the separation at birth that I experienced that it made me cling on to her, because I was afraid of having that loss again. But even subconsciously as a baby and a child. Yeah,
it just shows the power of that, because you can know all kinds of things, but in your heart, you're still going through hard things.
Yeah.
Those of you that know our family and know the growing up years know that they were not a piece of cake. And darling here was a very big test to her brother.
Yeah.
Stephen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It wasn't until about a year or two ago that I received some training for working with adoptive and foster kids. We were told about, in adoption, a lot of times, traditionally, there's a win-win triangle that's depicted. So win for the child, because this child now has a great family. Win for the birth parents, because now they know that their child is going to be taken care of and given what they couldn't. Win for the adoptive family, because wow, now they get a family. But they said what isn't talked about is the lose, lose, lose triangle. There's loss to the child, and I understood that, why it would be such a deep loss to Cara, in spite of the fact that she had a good family with us. Loss to the birth family, totally understand that. You are giving up, this is a ripping and a tearing, giving up somebody that you've carried in your womb for 9 months. But I didn't understand the loss to the adoptive family. And so I asked the presenter about that. And she said that, for one, it could be the loss of not being able to have your own children, which wasn't a factor really for us, because I knew I could get pregnant. It just wasn't happening because we were waiting for you. But she said it's also the loss of the family you thought you would have. And that really struck me, because during those difficult years, our family, went through a lot of strain and drain. And so some of the fun times that I wanted us to have, like I think one time you said you felt almost like for a while we had two different families. Mom, Dad, you, Mom, Dad, Stephen. It was to try to, assuage the tough times. Now I know that what was happening for you, because what I learned in this seminar was that as children grow, so as Cara cognitively began to know and understand what was happening, then she's processing all of this grief. And even though we went to counseling, as Cara mentioned, nobody seemed to understand that at the time. I certainly didn't, in spite of everything that I read. But now I know that those difficult times were just her trying to figure it out. I don't know that if we had understood that it would have changed outwardly too much, but at least we would have known and not felt always like we were being terrible parents and failures as a parent. What's wrong with us? What are we doing? What's wrong with her? What's wrong with, the whole thing? We just didn't know. And now we know it's just a normal coping and trying to grieve that loss and move on with life. Had the arrangement that 18 you would meet birth mom.
Yeah.
But
I was kind of a psycho. And I was like throwing
Thank you for
fits all.
saying that.
I just wanted to meet them so bad, because I knew I had my birth mom and my half sister. I think being young, it was really hard for me to understand why she would keep my sister and not me, even though now I know it's the whole situation. And
if you would have been born first,
right, if I would have been born first,
you.
she would have kept me, and it had nothing to do with me, but as a little kid, you don't understand that. I just had this fantasy of what my life could have been, which was not reality. But again, as a child, you don't have a scale of what's realistic or not. So I just had this whole fantasy in my head of what it would be like, and what if I could be with my birth mom. And so when I was 14, my mom and dad flew my birth mom and my half sister to our house for me to meet them.
For 10 days.
For 10 days.
That was a turning point, and that was good.
I think I met them and it was good. We had fun with them, but it put more into perspective what I have with my family and everything that my mom and dad have been able to give me and how they've raised me. And ever since then, I think it made a big difference in my relationship with my parents. I'm so much more grateful for them now. It was good. It was good to meet them and know where I came from, and that was closure for me. I think, just to be able to meet them. I had so many questions my whole life up until that point, my whole 14 years. But yeah, it really just made me so much more appreciative of my family and my parents, my brother too. I just love my mom and dad, and I'm so happy that they're my mom and dad.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, it was
And
good.
the story's not over yet, because there are triplets and a 2-year-old, and who knows how many more.
So I met them when I was 14, and I have not seen them since. We're friends on social media stuff, and we talk once in a while, but not very consistently. But my birth mom's mom, my grandma, she actually flew out here about a little over a year ago, and I met her, and she got to hang out with Gemma. That was really fun. She was great, and I've kept in contact with her too. And while she was here, she showed me a bunch of my family history and pictures of everybody. That's when I found out that my great-great-grandma had 3 sets of twins, so twin gene running strong, triplets, and looked up. So my birth dad, he was like never in the picture. He was just a dude. And he said like the baby was not his. Me, the baby, was not his, and he just signed, if it is my baby, he gives up all rights. I've never like tried to reach out to him or anything, and I don't really know if I will ever or not. I don't like feel like I need to. I feel like it could be cool. I don't need a relationship with him, but just to be like, hi, here I am. Here are your grandchildren. If you want to see them. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. I kind of go back and forth on it. I kind of feel like he's missing more than I am, so it would be, I'm doing him a favor to like let him have a chance, but I like don't really need it. So when my grandma was here, we found him on Facebook and sent a picture to my birth mom to like see if it was him or not, and she said yeah, it was him. So I've like kind of spied on him, and it looks like he's married and has 2 kids. That's the extent of like what I know.
And you saw a picture of him as a child.
Oh yeah.
And all the kids are towheads,
Yeah.
which explains Gemma.
Which explains Gemma's blonde hair.
Doesn't explain this, but
Well, this is
yes.
bleach. Yeah, we were like shocked when Gemma had blonde hair and blue eyes because Darik has brown eyes and we both have like really dark hair. But I saw a picture of his family and they're all kids and they are all like towhead blonde. Seems like Gemma got some of those genes with her light hair.
I just have a couple things to say to people who are unable to get pregnant to really consider adoption. There are so many children that are in need of good families. And if you go that route or you find yourself in that place right now and there's difficult times with your kids, there's so much more known now about grief and trauma and things that happen to children. There's help out there, resources to, help families cope. And just know that the hard times are temporary and it's that child, that person is worth committing to with your whole heart and just getting through to the other side. Same with foster kids. There's a great need for foster families. So
She's leaving today. This is Friday. I don't know what day you're gonna watch this. She's leaving today and I'm gonna have a meltdown. I already feel very emotional about it.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna cry if I keep talking about it.
But as you all have seen, she's one strong woman and I know, honey, that you are going to do a good job. And you and Darik are going to figure it out. And your babies are a gift and it isn't how you wanted them to come. But I could say the same thing for our life too. It's a little different. 2 babies in 11 months. But it's good. And you have a good husband and incredible kids. So yeah, it's hard to get them all at once.
I wanted them spread out more.
Yeah.
And people always ask, how do you stay so calm? How are you so collected and whatever? Then people meet her. And they're like Ashley the other day was like, after spending so much more time around your mom, you just make so much more sense. Like how you are you and how you just are like so chill and like relaxed about things, especially like with the babies and with Gemma. Just like, oh, it's fine. But she is even more like that than I am. I need a tissue.
Got lots of that. Well, my calmness has come after many years of practice.
Raising a psycho. But now we know there was a reason behind it. I was struggling to find an answer.
And self-worth, and it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Everything happens for a reason. I had 3 babies for a reason, which is yet to be known. We wouldn't have the Chatfam if we didn't have 3 babies.
It's true.
This all happened because of the triplets. They started this big train, this Chatfam train. I love my mommy.
I love you, baby.
And everyone, tell Bonnie to move here. I need her. Yes, I need her to move here. They live in Oregon. That's another question.
Oh.
My mom and dad live in Oregon. That's where I grew up.
Beautiful state.
It's beautiful. It rains too much for my
Beautiful
liking.
people. Rain makes you angry.
Yeah, it messes up your hair. You get all ready to go somewhere and you have to run to your car.
But I'll visit frequently, and
Oh, I hear a baby crying. That's
I
our
hear
cue.
4
Our
babies.
cue to go.
Let's go. Bye.
Bye.